Hey again, this is Paul with Real Mobile Home Flippers, and I wanted to talk with you about the business of learning how to flip a mobile home. The idea is just like flipping a house, that you see on all those TV shows. The reality is different than the shows, which you probably already guessed. And the biggest thing about flipping a mobile home is knowing what you can get for it when you finish. That's the big skill that you want to know in order to do that. Now, everybody's going to have their initial uh, concerns, anxiety. When you put money into something, you know, are you going to get that money back? That's probably the biggest thing in any type of investment that there is. So, take for instance flipping a mobile home. I mean, the amount of money that you invest as compared to flipping a stick built home, depending on where you live, is enormous. You know, in some areas, $400,000 is an average home. Some areas it's 150,000. If you're unfortunate enough to live in California, God knows what it is, but it's a lot of money. Average home in some places is $800,000. Now, for you to do that with a home, you've got to have the $350,000 to buy the home and the $150,000 to fix up the home. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to enter into that game. That's always been the big problem for everybody who wants to get involved in real estate investing. The truth is that real estate of any kind, investing in it and making money at it, is totally possible to do. But the problem with all the courses that teach the real estate investing is, where do you get the $300,000 from the start? Now, if you got that, good, and you're willing to lose it, because that could happen. Or, as I saw one woman get on a television show and say her parents gave it to her. She started out with $400,000. Not all of us have parents that are going to give us $400,000. I'm one of those people. So I was very interested in real estate investing. I read books, I took courses, and I really wanted that. It sounded great to me, and it sounded like a good product that you could get out to other people if you were conscientious about what you did with this home. So, not being able to afford it, I looked things over and got interested in and looked into thoroughly the concept of buying, fixing up, and selling a mobile home. And I concentrated on mobile homes in mobile home parks as opposed to mobile homes on their own land. And the reason that I did this is because there's less upfront money. A mobile home on its own land is kind of like a regular house. You're buying the land and the home. Even if it's less than a regular house, you still have the additional cost of that land. As an example, let me just say this. Like, let's say you were going to buy a mobile home in a park. It's a used mobile home. It needs work. Let's say you're going to buy it for $5,000. Now, if you bought that same mobile home on its own land and you had to pay $60,000 for that piece of land plus the $5,000 for the home, you're paying $65,000 to get started. But if you do it in a park, you're not buying the land. Now, you might pay lot rent for a couple of months while you're doing everything. Okay, let's say that's an average of $400 a month, so that's $800 on top of your $5,000. But that's just part of the whole investment. You're not having to come up with another $60,000. So when you get involved in investment of this kind, it's easier to do. Now, some people have said to me, what if you have no money? Now, it's a good question, but most people don't have no money. But what if you had no money and you wanted to start? What I would do is I would get an education on it and learn it well enough that I thought that I could make money at it. And I would get an investor partner to go in. Maybe give that person, 25% of the profit, and they put up 10,000, and you buy the home for 5, and you fix it up, and You put a total of 10 in it, you sell it for 14 or 15, and if you make 5,000, he gets his money back and $1,000, and you get 4,000. There's a great deal to learn, and I mean, I'm putting out books so people can learn it. And then after a while, the only way you can learn, you hit a certain point that without doing it, you really don't learn anything else. So at some point, you have to go in. And I want to tell you that if you buy a home for 5,000 and you put 5,000 into it, it's almost impossible to not get your money back or most of your money back or make a profit. Is there a chance you could lose some money? Honestly, yes, there is. Is there a chance you could make some money? Yes, there is, right? My actual percentages are about, I've lost money on 3 deals out of 175. That's the actual percentages. So I'm not saying it's never going to happen, and maybe you would lose more than I did, but I mean, in real estate, house flipping, if they score on 6 out of 7, they consider that, tremendous. So, and there's far less to invest. And, I mean, at some point, you are going to sell that home. So I wanted to just cover that with you. Why this is the easiest entrance point for getting into real estate that exists, right? You don't have to come up with $300,000. That's the big, 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 big bug or barrier or whatever you want to call it. The brick wall, that the Roadrunner, no, the Roadrunner gets away, but it's the other guy that runs into that brick wall in the cartoon. That's the brick wall everybody runs into, and all those real estate courses I think that I took were valid. I thought the information was great. They got me excited for being able to be, my own boss, able to run my own business. Generated a lot of excitement for me on that. But being able to actually start on it, I never could. Then I looked into the mobile home, investing, you want to call it, flipping. I don't like the word flipping, but apparently it communicates better with more people. They understand it immediately. But that whole thing, and I'm telling you, you can really make it work. So I've told a few people I'm working on this book. I'm going to come out with it soon. I keep promising. But every time I go back to it, I keep fixing it to make it better. Hopefully, I haven't made it so much better that nobody understands it anymore. But I hope to have it out within the next week. It's a simple little book. And I'm trying to give all the information that I can. You could read it. You could do it. Okay, so this is Paul with Real Mobile Home Investors, or I think we changed our name to Real Mobile Home Flippers. Same guys. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.